Gotta admit, it looks kind of pretty from here, even with that ratty old seat, which is the original upholstery from 37. I do like the color, even though it's all faded. So, anyway, that's not what this video is about. It has been a month since I posted a video, and the last video I posted was just a short as we were on our way to the parade that I was telling you all about. And, well, so since then, I have been doing more work on the dash and getting the gauge cluster all wired in properly. Got a relay for the charge indicator light. Got a voltage reducer module for the fuel and temp gauges. Got the temp gauge, or the fuel level gauge. That's actually 3 resistors run in series here to get the right reading for the sending unit to work with the stock gas gauge. And it's fairly accurate. I was kind of impressed I was able to make that work. So anyway, that is that. I have it out right now because I was doing all the wiring, and I also wanted to redo the clear coat on the dash. So once that goes back in, it's gonna look really good. So there's just a picture to give you an idea of the rat's nest that I've been creating. There's all my wires. Wires everywhere. Fuse box back there. Various relays, flasher, switches. Yeah. I actually like doing wiring. It's kind of a challenge, but not too much of a challenge. So, I got to run there on the... I'm going to have to fix that. Don't like that. Anyway, so I am not using any of the original switching or components at all other than the gauge cluster. And so I had to figure out how to do the headlights. What I got here, this is a 2-position pull switch that was actually for a boat, but I like the design and the function of it. So if you see right there, that yellow light that comes on is actually for fog lights. So I am going to have fog lights because we live in the Pacific Northwest. Fog is a part of life up here. And so that's for that. And that also turns on the dash lights and the running lights. And then you pull all the way out. The fog lights turn off. The headlights turn on, but the dash lights will stay on. And this right here is my high-low switch. High beams, low beams. High beams, low beams. So I got that all sorted out. Other thing I had to come up with was, how do I turn on the electric fuel pump and make it safe so that if the engine stops, the pump doesn't keep running. So what I did, and I'll show you what it does, and then I'll show you how I did it. That's the key. Pull the choke out, pump goes on. You start the engine, push the choke in, and then the oil pressure switch takes over and keeps the pump running. And how I did that is I have this little micro switch right here hooked to the choke linkage so that when you pull the choke, it kicks on the pump. You shut it back in as the engine starts, and I have it run parallel. Got the wiring running parallel with the oil pressure switch, and when the engine's running, that takes over, keeps the pump going. And there's that. Now, as for, I know some of you notice the windshield is still not in it, and I was trying to get the windshields installed prior to the parade. And I got the glass guy to cut the perfect size, or what I thought was a perfect size, from the original glass that I had, not realizing that this gasket that I'm using doesn't have as much depth as the original. It's a lot thicker right there. On the original, it's only maybe 1/8 of an inch thick rubber. And so because this was too thick and I was using the original size glass, I ended up cracking one of the panels when I was trying to install it. And that sucks because these are not cheap. Having these custom made is not really cheap. So what I ended up doing is making a template. Here you can, there, yeah, made a template that's a little bit smaller than the glass. And I test fitted this with the gasket that I have, and it fits. It'll work fine. I just need to take this all back to the glass guy. Hopefully he can cut another one that fits this template and sand down or grind down the other good one that I still have down there, which I'll talk to him tomorrow and see about that. And another problem that I ran into, this thing overheated during the parade. Now, during normal driving, it probably would not have been an issue, but I discovered that my really cool looking fan shroud that I came up with does not draw enough air through the radiator, so I'm going to have to use a electric pusher fan on the front and do some kind of louvers or flaps, rubber, like rubber flaps here to push air through the top of the radiator. Yeah, so anyway, that is everything that has been going on with Molly over the last month. And I know, it's been a long time since I posted anything. But I will say that she drives great. Steers like a dream, really smooth, comfortable ride. Yeah, I'm really impressed so far with how it's coming. Yeah, there's that. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. I'll try to post more videos more often as I get more work done on it. Big change in my life. I just recently got married, so I'm not going to have as much time to work on this car. But hey, that's okay. That is okay. So anyway, again, like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.